So one nation, one subscription. So the major problem with the students and researchers who are at institutes, that whenever they wanted good journals or publication, they had to pay a hefty fees to these commercial publications. Now government has come up with this one nation and one subscription fees with what will the government will do? They have come up with a 6,000 crore budget, and this will, with the tier 2 and tier 3 cities where the government institution are not able to access these top class journals and publication because cost is very high, government would be helping in these, and these researchers would be getting. So it aims to reduce the cost of accessing research papers by centralizing subscription. Today, for example, if the cost per month is say 10,000 rupees, now the cost will come down to say 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees, because government would be subsidizing, government would be paying from your behalf. And that way the tier 2 and tier 3 institution, government institution, this scheme is only for government funded institution. These are not, this is not for private institutions. So that is also a demerit of this. This is only for government. It is not for private institution, because private institution already charge a huge amount of fees from student. So they should be paying from their behalf. I think that should be the thought process. So tier 2 and tier 3 cities, government funded institution, researchers, now they would be able to get access to these top journals and publication for their own research. So it's a wonderful step being taken by the government of India in terms of top class research. But again, it's a good step. But the problem which is right now, that the government still is not spending on research and development. That percentage is very low. So you are giving journals and publication, but at the same time, the focus should also be on spending on research and development in India, and also promoting Indian journals and publication. So these are two important contexts which have also been spoken about in the editorial. So it was first proposed in National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy 2020. It seeks to address the high subscription fees, which I was telling you. The high subscription fees was so much that the researchers were not able to afford it, and tier 2 and tier 3 cities where the wages are very low, it was even more difficult. So center will allocate 6,000 crore for 3 years to cover subscription for 30 major publishers. These are the top 30 major publishers which the researchers look for their publication, for their research, or for these journals. Okay, so owner scheme will be coordinated by Information and Library Network, that is InfliBnet, which is an autonomous inter-university center under the UGC. So these can be a prelims based question. 2 to 3 statements will come, and then it will ask. So traditional academic publication relies on pay to read model. So where libraries and institute pay fees to access published research, and then when you go to library and you want, so you will have to pay to them. Generally this happens. But now the government would be replacing with these libraries, because this libraries consortium had also become a big middleman. Now government would be directly dealing with these researchers. So owners aim to democratize access to high quality academics, and if you want top class research and development, it is very important that you get this for student and researchers in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So you will get access to 13,000 high impact journals from 30 leading international publishers. Again, these are commercial publishers. This is also a bone of contention, that these commercial publishers, they use government or the open research for putting their commercial books or commercial journals, and they are charging money. In a simple way, I am a commercial publisher. Okay, I am publishing or I am putting my journal. But for my journal's research, I am using all free resources. From free resources, I print my commercial journal, and then I ask you to pay the money. So this is also a bone of contention which is written in the editorial, that if you are using all these free journals and government spending for your own research which has been given to you free, how can you charge this? So this is also one point which has been in the editorial, and quite right also. So improving the availability of academic resources for students. Initiative targets 6,300 institutions benefiting around 1.8 crore. This is a wonderful big number, 1.8 crore students, faculty, researchers, and enhance access to international journals, boosting India's visibility in global research communities. Now this is a very important word, global research community. And today, until unless your education, academia or academics does not become strong, then you will not get top class students. You will not get the student with skill set which can go industry and help industry to become top class. So in this way, these research, these journals will definitely go in helping the students. Okay. So how it will work? The national government replaces the consortium of libraries. They will directly be negotiating with the publisher. Scholars at publicly funded institute will gain access to these expensive journals. So government would be paying majority of the money. I said if the fees is 10,000 or for example it is 1,000 a month. So government would be paying 500, 600, 700 depending upon that university, and rest of the the bare minimum amount would be paid by the researcher, student or the faculty. The plan extends access to underfunded government institutes that previously struggled with high subscription fees. The focus is more towards tier 2 and tier 3. Tier 1 institutions already had this, the access to these journals. So that is why the government institutions in tier 2, tier 3 areas which were underfunded, focus is on them. Let's come to this. We have covered what are the potential benefits of it. Okay, exclusion of private institutes. I've already covered what's the problem with the private institutes. Reinforcing commercial publishers' hold. Commercial publishers, many of whom profit from publicly, that I've already covered. This is the contention that they use publicly funded research, and now they are basically using public funded research. They write on their own article and research, and now they want you to pay money. So this is again by aligning with these 30 publishers, this commercial publishers hold will majorly increase. Okay, so I hope you are understanding everything. Okay, so then the high cost and misallocation, 6,000 crore allocated for foreign publisher raises concerns because India's gross expenditure on R&D is very less. Yesterday also we were discussing about that agricultural, that 13th national seed conference which is going on. Then also we were discussing that the spending of private entities on research and development is much more than the government sector. Government institution not even spending more than 10% of it, and majority of the government institution money is going on administration. So there is today we have green and diamond access. Green and diamond open access model which could have been taken by the government, which are free models. So missed opportunity for Indian influence. Supporting homegrown journals or influencing research access modalities should have been taken. Developing better use of resources. So it could have been focusing on Indian journals also, Indian publications also, focusing on homegrown. So there is also a problem of lack of transparency. That is that if a journal or these 30 publications have been taken, there are many one which are outdated, which are predatory in nature, and how these journals would be changed. I think this should not be a big problem, because over a period of time the systems and methodology would be placed, and the system will bug. I don't personally feel review to include newer, irrelevant or predatory journal. This will time to time it would be updated. Neglecting preprint and open access trends, open access, that the green open access which we are talking about. Today you also have gold open access model which are being worked all over the world. So India should have also looked, the government should have also looked, and there is also a contention that when this 6,000 crore has been given for owner schemes, there was not a lot of discussion which happened with universities and researchers before adopting it. So no institution level consultation happened. So alternative approaches can be green and diamond open access model, support from domestic journal. This step is very important, that we also need to focus on Indian journal. Enhanced funding for R&D. I think in the last 2 to 3 days, even if we talk about climate change, we talk about research and development, putting money in technology for renewable energy. Similarly, agricultural news which we were covering in daily decodes yesterday, same point, focus on research and development. If you want better weapons, focus on research and development. Like you've created hypersonic weapons which has a speed of 5 Mach or above. So then again you were focusing on research and development, now you are reaping the fruit. Same is the point here, that we need to focus on R&D. So a prelims question, ONUS plans applies to both public and private research institutes in India. ONUS aims to centralize subscription to research journal, replacing consortia of libraries. The plan promotes green and diamond open access model to ensure. No, it does not promote. It applies to both public and private. No, only public, not private. The second point is right. Rest of them are wrong. Thank you for watching this video. For complete video, please watch Daily Decodes, and the link to that video is given in the description. And please don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. And do press the bell icon for all the updates.